Welcome to Great Day at 9A on this Wine Wednesday. I'm Nicole Nalepa.
And I'm Caitlin Francis, in for Scott once again, all week actually. It's going to be another nice, it looks so beautiful out in the patio and the beaches.
It's gorgeous. I know, that's like the place to be right now if you're off, right? But you know, this is a good place to be too. We have a great show for you, and we have some good news for you in terms of the weather today and possibly for some other days. We'll have to check and see what Jill has to say. Over to you, Jill.
Good morning, everyone. And Nicole and Caitlin, we're tracking hazy conditions out there. There is some smoke from wildfires out of Canada creating that hazy look to the sky. Otherwise, it is sunny to start. Now, this afternoon, you'll notice some puffy clouds developing. A passing shower or storm can't be ruled out. Then trending drier tonight into tomorrow morning. And then we'll do the same again, though the coverage may be a little higher for those downpours and passing thunderstorms. So just keep that in mind. Now, we're going to be trending drier as we head into Friday before the rain chances start ramping back up again over the weekend. So the rest of today, a little hazy sunshine, puffy clouds during the afternoon, highs in the lower to middle 80s. And again, there could be a passing shower. Tomorrow, scattered afternoon showers and thunderstorms, dry to start. Sun and clouds on Friday with highs in the mid to lower 80s. A little bit cooler along the shoreline. And yeah, unsettled, unfortunately, for the weekend. I'll have more on that coming up with the news at noon.
All right, thanks, Jill. Well, the ballots have been cast. The winners have been called after yesterday's primaries.
Yes, Republican voters in our state decided who will go up against Senator Chris Murphy and Congressman Jim Himes in November. Matthew Corey won the primary for the Senate seat. He ended up with 54% of the vote to beat Jerry Smith, a three-term first selectman in Beacon Falls. Corey lost to Senator Murphy when the two ran against each other back in 2018.
Republican Michael Goldstein will now run against incumbent Democrat Jim Himes for a seat in the U.S. House. Goldstein beat out Bob McGuffey with 53% of the vote.
And Representative Himes has held his seat in the House since 2009 and is the ranking member of the House Intelligence Committee. Now, we also have results from state races up for you right now on the WFSB app. But there are just 82 days left until Election Day on November 5th. Yeah. It sounds maybe like a little bit, you know, it's in the distance, but it's going to be here before you know it.
Yeah, coming up very quick, and you can obviously, there's still time to register to vote, all of that information. We have a lot of state and local elections in addition to the presidential election, so got to keep your eyes and your ears tuned in here to WFSB.
Yeah, and register to vote. Rock the vote. It's your right.
Well, we have a warning for families this morning. Whooping cough cases are spreading across the state.
Yeah, there have already been 111 cases here in Connecticut this year. And to put things in perspective, our state only had 11 cases of pertussis or whooping cough in all of 2023. Now, even though the contagious infection can affect anyone, it's most dangerous for babies. The CDC recommends that children receive a series of 3 whooping cough vaccines before they're 6 months old, as well as a booster for teenagers and basically anyone who's pregnant. But not as many people are getting vaccinated against whooping cough, and that's why experts say we are seeing these high cases.
Yeah, so, and again, we're talking about back to school, so a lot of school districts have requirements for kids who are going back, so you got to check that for any parents who are getting their kiddos ready. But you can hear more about the symptoms and where infections are most common. That's a story that Dylan Fearon did. That's all up on the WFSB app.
And speaking of back to school, you know that we are your back to school authority. And with the new school year fast approaching, more and more districts are banning cell phones in the classroom.
All right, this is a big talker. Waterbury is one of the latest districts to start using what they're calling locking pouches. Middle and high school students will have to lock up those phones as soon as they walk into the building this upcoming school year. AirPods and smartwatches also have to go in those pouches. Students will keep the pouch with them until the final bell rings at the end of the school day. Manchester and Torrington have seen success with these pouches, and they're even expanding the programs there as well.
I think that that's great. You know, if they're seeing some positive, you know, returns from these pouches.
Less distraction. You're not having to worry about who's texting, who's calling, what's on social media. I mean, we didn't have cell phones in school.
I know, it was a lot easier to focus, you know.
They didn't well, they did exist.
I had track phones. Do you remember the track phones?
Yeah, we didn't, and nobody was really on. You had to, like, remember the T9 to text? And it cost money.
Oh, it did. Well, with the trap phones, that's why I was mentioning those, because you actually had to buy these cards. I know, for those of you who don't know what I'm talking about, crazy, right? It's like a calling card.
It was like free after 8 or like on weekends, but every text you sent or any phone call you made,
cost like 25 cents. You thought twice before you started texting. So, but you know, another argument is a lot of parents, they want their kids to have phones because they want to be able to reach them or have their kids reach them if they need anything. But again, back in the day, we just had the office, right? So your school would call the school, or your parents would call the school office, and they would be the third party communicating.
Over the intercom, come down. But yeah, I know school security and school safety is a big deal these days as well. But you know, if you have the pouch with you, then that makes it a little bit easier. However, I know social media and distractions are a big deal for kids. So to have the phones away while you're supposed to be learning is probably a good thing for them.
Well, there's that wait until 8th movement, which is huge, so make sure to look that up and see what you think of that.